hope I can follow Anna's eloquent speech. Persuade you that CLC is also a great thing here in our district. This is the same presentation that I would give funders or community stakeholders and show them what the Community Learning Centers has accomplished over the last couple of years. Starting with letting you know what a Community Learning Centers is. The CLC is a priority under the district, and it falls under academic excellence, well-being, community engagement, career and college readiness, and targeted professional development. And we operate outside of the school day. And we do this by integrating community resources back into the school. So really it's just a public partnership with our community on a really large scale with the goal of stewarding resources, integrating support, and then making decisions through a community approach model. The mission is to meet the needs of the whole child, strengthen families, and steward community resources through trusted partnerships with the vision to provide accessible and high-quality programs for all kids in the district. And then we do that through collaboration with the goal of the same thing we do during the school days, inspiring young minds to dream and grow. We have 3 different areas that we operate in. The first one is our elementary program, then I'll highlight the middle school, and then I will briefly touch for the purpose of this presentation on our family and community engagement. But our after-school program, when we were Kids Inc., we started with about 1,200 students. This year we will serve nearly 2,200 unique students, and on a monthly basis we serve just shy of 1,800. This has held pretty consistent over the last couple of years, but month over month we have been serving about 1,800 students this school year. Before school enrollment, we expanded these offerings larger in the district. Okay, so we were previously only in 1 school in Pettigrew, but we have expanded this to 8 elementary schools. We started with serving about 250 kids. This number actually has declined over the last, or this year, and we are really trying to see what the need is in the community, and we'll be in 7 elementaries here next year. Our summer enrollment, when we were Kids Inc., we operated out of 4 schools. This year we'll be in 10. When we were Kids Inc., we served about 400 students. This year we're jumping into summer next week, and we will serve just shy of 1,400 students. The goal is that we're not just serving more kids. Our goal is that we want to serve more kids daily. I tell our staff that the number 1 compliment that we can get is if a parent comes to the CLC and their kid doesn't want to leave. We want that. We want to serve kids. We want to serve more kids. We want to serve them more often, and we want to serve them for longer. And we are doing just that. Our numbers highlighted here in blue, we are serving about 80% of our population on a daily basis. So we are serving about 1,400 to 1,500 students daily. And then who do we serve? We serve a very similar population to what the Sioux Falls School District did, or does. We are, Sioux Falls School District's at about 49% free and reduced lunch. We are 43% of our students receive some type of financial support just to be into the program. And from a race and ethnicity standpoint, we are very similar to what the school district is as well. This slide is a few years old here, but when you look at the city of Sioux Falls and the district poverty rates, we're now at 47 or 49%. When you look at in comparison to Minneapolis or Omaha, we are trending in that direction. So we are very similar to what what those large metros, because Sioux Falls is becoming a very large metro. And these numbers, this is our income ratio. When you look at the number of students that we serve at 200% below poverty or below, our enrollment has jumped about 200 to 300 students on an annual basis. This year, this is about the 43% here of students that are receiving support to be into the program. And then scholarships. This year we'll expend just shy about $1.7 million in scholarships to help students be a part of this. And when you think of the revenue streams of the community learning centers, we receive financial support from state funding or child care assistance, parent tuition, and then these scholarships are what really make these CLC successful. These are the families that are between 210% to 300% of federal poverty level. At 209, when you jump to 210%, you go from getting full child care assistance to no child care assistance at all. So we have scholarship dollars to be able to support those families at 210% to 300% on some basis. And so if you think about that in Sioux Falls, a family of four that makes $5,500 a month, or $30 per hour, roughly, we are able to support them, and they can continue to try to further their earning potential by not saying to their employer, no, I can't take a raise here because I need this support. And when you think about where those dollars, $5,500 in the city of Sioux Falls, you continue to be stretched pretty thin. So, this is the why behind. We are currently serving our students with about 70 community partners who come into these areas of Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies, STEAM Stars, career exploration. We provide tutoring for the kids at some of our schools, and then life skills. These 70 partners are a big reason of why kids want to stay. This last year, we started a basketball league, and we traveled elementary kids around to different schools. We had Drumline come in from Groove Inc. We've had Premier Playhouse, Theater 605, and different community partners all come in and share their times and talents. Driving this average daily attendance up, and this is the slide where it really kind of gets a lot. I call this the United Way slide that they want to see, this is the number of students checked in per hour times the number of days. When we first started, we served about 200,000 hours of students after school. This number, it's hard to read, we're just shy of 900,000 hours of kids checked into the CLC program. So nearly tripled over the last 3 years of kids wanting to stay. And this is an example of our community partnerships where we brought about 1,200 students out to the Sanford Sports Complex, and they had a day of Summer Olympics. I made them all go in and take a picture. This team was real happy about this one because you had a lot of kids just hanging out there, but we took a picture of all 1,200 kids on the Pentagon floor. What are the results? This data here is our elementary students, where we're looking at year-over-year data in their math, their reading, their behaviors, very similar data to what the school day is looking at. And our math scores, when you compare last year's math RIT scores to this year's math RIT scores, 92% of the CLC students improved on their scores. Reading scores, 88%. Learning behaviors was 82%. And then tardiness and absenteeism drops, but still seeing a pretty significant improvement, very similar to what the research says about kids just being involved. Whether they're involved in extracurriculars, whether they're involved in something bigger than the school day, they're seeing very similar types of results. Our middle school program was new to the CLC this year, starting in August of 2025, where we started we opened the Boys and Girls Club at McGovern. We started at Whittier and Ben Rifle. And we started George McGovern in what I call a Tier 4 program. And we are trying to phase this in across the district on this tiered approach. A Tier 4 is what we're calling building a building, on attaching it to the middle school. Our goal is that we will also do this at Whittier by 2030. But for now, Whittier and Ben Rifle are what we call it's a pilot. We are after school till 6 p.m. Kids receive a snack. They are offered a whole bunch of interest clubs. Teachers are now paid to run those clubs, and we have a connection coordinator in those buildings. And for those that don't know, a connection coordinator is an individual who works during the school day, and they work after school. It's a full-time position that drives many things, relationships primarily, but it allows us to hire higher quality staff as well, where they're not just working for a few hours after school. Our middle school enrollment. In August, we started with about 245 students. We are now have nearly 750 students enrolled in our 3 middle schools. Our projected was 300, so we nearly doubled what we were projecting to serve. Average daily attendance continues to grow, and this is the same result of keeping kids engaged. We have, since August and September, we have provided a lot more opportunity for kids to be a part of, whether that's all those different clubs, very similar to the elementary, but we have about 40 community partners who are coming in to serve our middle school kids. Our average daily attendance, or our monthly visits, that continues to grow, as I just highlighted. But who do we serve in our middle schools? Our middle school program is based on, is a child on free and reduced lunch, or are they not? And if so, then they do not have a charge to be a part of this fee. If they aren't on free and reduced lunch, it's a very small fee of $30 a week just to be a part of it. But we are serving a very similar population in all of our schools who are on free and reduced lunch. These are some of the community partnerships that we've been excited to serve on, or to bring in, and just a few pictures, whether that's nutrition. We had Aaron Jones football camp and different opportunities like that, but seeing the same, very similar types of results as we did in the elementary as far as our outcomes go. And our math and reading scores for those kids part of the CLC, 76% are improving and 74% in reading. In the future, we planned, coming this next year, we'll be opening at Patrick Henry, and with the goal that we'll also be able to, it's not out of the question to be at Edison and Memorial, but we financially, we're waiting on that funding. Here's a few pictures of the Boys and Girls Club out at McGovern. Beautiful space if you have not ever been able to see it. But here are some of the future enhancements that are coming. Recently announced girls flag football will be in the high schools and the middle schools. Goal of getting VEX robotics in. Drone soccer, if you have never seen that, it'll be very similar to Quidditch, and kids compete by flying these drones around and trying to score goals, and they compete against each other. And then someday, hopefully, sports. Thank you.